Yeah, man, take.
Is it gonna fall?
Yeah. All right, so
It's been a long time.
it's been a minute. We've been trying to do it, but so we're on our way to the gig actually, and decided to talk about an issue that came up recently. Well, first of all, are you prepared for this gig?
Yeah.
Because you missed the last rehearsal.
Oh! Yeah, I'm prepared. Erica sent me the recording, so
All right.
I was listening to it.
So you went over the songs that we didn't get to rehearse.
Yeah.
First rehearsal.
Yeah.
All right, don't be messing up this gig.
Did you ever think that you was gonna be doing gigs with your kids?
I wasn't sure. I hoped that I would,
Yeah.
but you know, I didn't know what y'all was gonna be naturally interested in. So, and I didn't want to force y'all to do a certain thing if y'all wasn't really passionate about it. So, luckily, you know, I think we got one out the deal that was passionate about music.
What is it like though? Like when you're at a gig and you look over and you see like me, I guess, or something like that.
I mean, a sense of joy, like, you know, like happy that we were able to pass down something that has meant so much for us, you know, and just to see you, like I said, I think the main thing is you being passionate about it, because some people would do it just because their parents did it, or just because they think it'll make, you know, their parents happy, you know, and not really have a love for it. So when I look over and see not just you doing it, but like that you love doing it and that you are taking joy in performing, like I think that's different. And with that, I feel like I'm happy that you gravitated toward it, but I'm happy for you and the joy you get to experience through it. I'm happy for the people who get to experience the gift that you have. And yeah, just, you know, just to know like the legacy, the musical legacy is being passed down to another generation.
So I didn't think growing up that I would be performing with y'all.
Oh yeah, why?
I don't know. I didn't really think that.
Well, I wasn't sure, like, I mean, I knew you'd be performing, but I didn't know you'd be doing it with us.
Yeah.
I felt like, you know, maybe we would be too old, or like the age difference would be too much to, I guess, do together. But I mean, I think it worked because you are more mature than your age, and we are less mature looking than our age. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So
One of the coordinators in there was like, what does he take?
he thought you was my wife.
He's like, what does he take to look so young? I'm like,
Jesus, that's about it.
Music.
Music, Jesus, water.
Exactly.
That's it. So yeah, so recently you had a gig with your jazz band.
Yes.
And how do you think that went?
I think it went really, really good, being that there's only 2 rehearsals that I went to. What's it with me missing rehearsals? So what's it with me missing
I don't
rehearsals?
know. You gotta do better.
It was a lot of lyrics, and so that was like the main thing that I was worried about, just like remembering all of the like lyrics and the sequences of the songs, because like each song was kind of different but all the same. They're all in the same key, they're all the same melody basically, and like all the same like Merry Christmas type thing. Some of them unfortunately were in the male key, so I was having to sing them in a range where I wasn't like comfortable singing, 'cause I'm not a male, so it was hard for me to project and sing loud over the band because like I was just singing so low. But on the songs that I got to sing high on, or higher on, I think they were like the better ones.
It sounded good. I mean, I feel what you're saying, but I mean, I would have liked them to be pitched higher too, because I think your voice could have cut through more, because the instrument was like in the same range that your voice was in, so it was like kind of cluttered. But a higher song would have allowed the voice to go higher and the instruments to, you know, kind of stay. But I think it worked out good. You know, you did your thing.
And I finally got to the songs where I was like in my comfort. I was like, whew, I can actually sing now. watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you what, Santa Claus is coming to town. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you what, Santa Claus is coming. I need the big fat man with the long white beard, he's coming.
Like, I know it was cold outside, so how'd you overcome being cold? I saw you shaking.
I didn't. I didn't overcome that. I was shaking so bad, like I thought I was gonna fall off the stage. Mm-hmm. When I went to bow, I have a video. I have a video of it. When I went to bow, I like almost tipped all the way over because I was just shaking so much. And then like Mom was even like, "Are you okay?" Like, and
did you hear somebody in the audience was like, "She's cold."
Yes, I was like, "No." Yeah, that was kind of embarrassing, but it was really cold. And like, yeah, I was just not prepared.
Yeah. So, what kind of feedback did you get from that?
You know, pretty standard, like, "Oh, good job," but how do I even start? How do I even start on this? Like, I don't know.
So what's your musical pet peeve, like, as far as, like, because I know you like constructive criticism. Mm-hmm. You know, you told me that. Yeah. Like, even you like when your teacher does it, like, he'll challenge you and push you to do different things. And so what are some of the things that he's challenged you on?
Okay, so my director, he's very like, he went to school for jazz. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to jazz, he knows like a lot about it. And like when pieces are moving, like he'll be able to look at the score or even just hear and be like, that was wrong type of thing. And because of that, whenever I sing with him and I'm like kind of like fluffing, he's like, that's not good, like do better. He kind of be like, or he'll even push me to sing with like, I guess like my whole body, I guess, because I'll sing and just be like, oh yeah, it sounds good, but he be like, more, like get more into it, like, you know, do more. And so I'll be like, okay, and I'll like push myself to just like give it my all, even in rehearsal. So that's some of the things that I like that he does. He be trying to get me to belt, and that's a whole issue.
So talk about it. Like, why do you think? Because all my life, I've heard people trying to get people to belt. Like everybody try to get everybody to belt, even though that may not be your vocal tone. So like, how do you navigate that? I know your voice is more like mine than your mom's voice. Like, she can belt, she can do all that, but we more smooth and mellow. And not just me, but even my sister and, you know, people in our family, my side of the family have more smooth, quiet, you know, jazz type voices. So how does that make you, how do you hear that when people want you to belt?
It's almost like they think because I'm not belting, I'm not good at singing. And it's like, when did belting become like the number one, like, you must do this to be a real successful singer? Because everyone's always asking for me to, sing louder, sing like Tina Turner. I don't have I don't even talk loud. So I'm just like, what's the deal with that?
So why do you think people do that? Like, do you think belting is, like, what is their obsession with belting, you think?
I think it could be like a few things. One could be like a stereotype. Since I'm a black woman, they just feel like I should be able to take it to church and be like, like growling and going crazy. Or it's just like what they're used to, because everyone in the industry, I guess, not everyone, but like a lot of people in the industry can belt. But that's also because they have money and they have teachers that can teach them how to do those things. So it's a difference, in my opinion.
So why would you think belting is the standard or the thing that we should aspire to and not quietness? You know what I'm saying? Because you have some people who can belt and they don't have no soft tones, you know? And so, like, why do you think that dynamic exists and not the other way around? And are you okay with that? Like, what would you want to see change?
I think people just associate belting with like being into it and like being like emotional or like, you know, I don't know how to explain it.
So it probably elicits an emotional response too, which I think the other tones can too, but I think that's a more easy one to I guess accept or realize when somebody's. So what I think is happening is it elicits an emotional response, but also the person singing is having an emotional response. And so you can see that emotion on their faces. Whereas in soft tones, same thing, but it elicits emotional response, but you can't always see that on the face. You know what I'm saying? It's more docile. Your face is more docile, so it feels like, it looks like you're not doing much.
Right. Have you ever tried to belt? What?
Long time ago, when I didn't know myself.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
I think the more you know yourself, you don't even try. I mean, like,
yeah, it's like I want to learn, I will learn, but I mean, it's not really like priority anymore. Like it used to be. I used to be like, I need to learn to belt. Like this is something I need to know how to do. But now I'm just kind of like,
yeah. And I think, you know, the older you get, the more you want to be individual, and you want to carve out a niche for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So if everybody's belting, why would I do what everybody else doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find something that's unique to me. You know, and even like my personal tone is more breathy, more airy, not really vibrato. And so when you hear that kind of tone, you think of me. You know what I'm saying? And I think every individual should have certain things that only they can do. And I think that's how God made us. You know what I'm saying? Like even the birds all have different tones. It may be similar, but like all of them are different. And I think when we start trying to imitate each other is where we do a disservice to ourselves and to the world. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not experiencing us individually. They're experiencing a version of us trying to be like somebody else, you know. How does it make you feel when people who don't know as much about music try to critique your style?
how does it make me feel? It doesn't make sense to me because it's like you don't know. That's basically it. I don't know. Just kind of like.
So what should people do who don't know music per se, but they know what they enjoy? They know what they like.
Maybe proposing their suggestions as a question. Like, so, oh my goodness. I'm trying not to say names. So.
Shedrach Rowry Creative Content.
Right, so somebody came to you recently and gave you a critique, but the critique was not founded in any educational analysis of voice or music. It was more from a church perspective, would you say? A black culture perspective?
I don't even know if I would say that. I just feel like, you know those videos on YouTube where it's like voice teacher reacts? It was like something he heard on a video and was like, I'm gonna tell her this just because like you're just wrong and loud.
So in instances like that, like how do you graciously deal with people who maybe mean well, maybe they don't, maybe they're trying to, you know, it's their way of cutting you down to somebody that they can feel better than, you know what I'm saying? So you don't know like what the motivation is, but how do you find grace for people like that?
Well, like I said, I like criticism, so
Constructive criticism.
yeah, so I'll listen, and if it's something that I feel like is like, oh yeah, that is true, I'll, take it, follow its story. But if not, I'm just kind of like, I let them, say what they're saying. I'm like, okay, I just don't accept.
Mm-hmm.
Like, interesting point, but nah.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the individual or like the motive that you can discern. You know what I'm saying? Because that happens to me, not necessarily vocally and not even necessarily like musically, but just like, I guess leadership wise. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm working with a choir, somebody might come up afterwards and be like, I wish y'all would have did X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? And so
at that point though, it makes me mad because it's like it's too late. Like, why?
And it's easy to criticize something that you don't know about. Like, you don't know doing X, Y, Z would have meant we need some better voices in the choir. We need more time to execute and rehearse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think suggestions, again, like it depends on the motive of the person. You know what I'm saying? And
like, y'all want me to belt, but the whole song gonna be flat.
Or it may not even be a belting song.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, because I'm thinking about the set I did. What would I need to be belting? Santa Claus is coming.
Santa Claus is coming.
Jingle bell, jingle bell. Like, what would I need to even be belting in that situation?
Yeah.
All your seatbelts off. This is cringe. I'm not even moving.
Yeah. So I think some people, they put too much on the entertainer or musician or vocalist to make them feel good. Which I know some of that's our job to do. But I think when you're investing in that and you're just coming for the rewards, I think that's problematic. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're investing financially for a show, okay, that's cool, we can do that. Or if you're investing, in terms of like adulation.
It's just interesting because it's like, if you saw a painting and you got to meet the painter, you wouldn't be like, you should have did this instead. Like, it's art still, like singing is art still. So it's like, if you just like, I don't know.
Well, I think the difference is everybody think they can sing.
Yeah.
Because to some degree, we all can vociferate. You know, even if it's not good, we can, do everything. You know what I'm saying? And so, but everybody can't pick up a pen, a pencil, or some paint and like do something. So I feel like they think singing is an innate ability, which it is, but that doesn't mean you're good at it. And I think that's what people misunderstand. They should see it just like they do artists, you know.
Because imagine, you're like, I actually don't like how you did that. Can you actually fix it? And you're not even paying them either.
Right, I know.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
You said you had a soft voice growing up, whatever. So, how did you fit into the choirs that you sung in? You sung in choirs growing up? How did that even work?
Well, I mean, so are you talking about like school choirs or church choirs? Or
church and school.
The school was less demanding in terms of output. So, I mean, if you had 10, 15 tenors, which we did, you didn't have to do as much. You know, you have to work as hard. So
15 tenors, I wish.
Yeah, I just had to blend in with everybody else. But in terms of like church, similar. I mean, we didn't have as many as 15, but maybe 5. And I just learned how to navigate the style of music with my voice. So I can give you not necessarily like that gritty texture, but like I got the notes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I can give you the notes, and I can give you volume and preparation. You know what I'm saying? Like I think preparation is half the battle. You know, like if you are intentional about preparing for something, you can always make the accommodations. You know what I'm saying? Like when you know in preparation what your voice will and will not do, you can be ready for those moments when they come. They won't catch you by surprise. You know what I'm saying? And so I think for me, preparation has always been my calling card. You know, even beyond talent, like I know how to prepare well. You know, and you would think I'm more talented than I am because I know what's about to happen through preparation.
Do you have time to elaborate on your preparation? Is it like a weekly thing, or is it like one day I do this? I guess that's weekly still. Like one day I do this, next day I do this, or is it kind of like everything every day?
Well, I think it changes. It just depends on like what I have coming up, because I'm also responsible for a lot of stuff in general, working at 2 or 3 churches, with the group I travel with, the Levites, my personal music, and just stuff that I do to help other people. So I have a lot on my plate, so I can't like designate like a certain time frame or day every week. But depending on what my calendar dictates, I'll make time to be ready for that event when it's about to happen. So if let's say I'm teaching a song, so what I do is prepare in such a way where I map out every voice, the tenor, alto, soprano, how their notes move.
Like on a track, or you write it?
Write it.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it depends on how talented the choir is. Some choirs, you can send them the music and they can do it themselves. They come ready. Some of them have to be taught. You know, even if they listen to it, they can't really pick out what's going on. And so I'll take time to listen to the song, write out the lyrics, write out the chord progression vocally, how the choir is moving. So if anybody have a question, I can tell them this your note, you know. But then I have another separate process where I write out the music, write out the lyrics and then write out the music, you know. So if I'm playing the song, I have to know how those chords move against the movement of the choir. So, and that's for every song. So if we're doing 5 songs in a week, I gotta go through those processes for each song. If I'm not playing, I just focus on voices. If I'm not on voices, I'm just focusing on music. But if I'm doing both, which happens most of the time, I gotta do both of those processes. And that's just teaching the song. Now singing the song, I have to do the same thing, write out the lyrics, write out the movement of the melody, and figure out vocal placement personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I communicate this in a way that is effective? You know, and so I'll have to do that for every song that I may be leading on or singing background on. You know what I'm saying? Where are the rough places in my voice that I need to work on to be able to execute this melody, you know? And yeah, so that's how my preparation looks.
Taking notes.
So,
I think what I'm gonna have to start doing as far as like prep is like so there's an app where you can like record like music on. I think I'm gonna have to start like recording each song, like the harmonies in each song, because for some reason it's been harder for me to pick out like all 3. And I noticed that when I like pick them apart and sing it into that app, I like memorize each of the parts, and like it's easier. Because I did like a cover of a song once, and I like listened to like the original, and I like had to listen and like listening to it over and over again, and then like picking them out and singing them like actually really helped. So I'm might have to start doing that, like, serious, until I can just listen to it and know.
Okay.
Cause I don't know. I be thinking I'm listening to the soprano line and it be the alto line. I'd be like,
Yeah, that happens, but I think you hit on the head when you said something to the effect of doing or engaging a method where you can remember. I think that's important, like everybody learns differently and remembers differently. And so you have to discover your method of learning, like even when I was in school, college, I found that color coding helped me because I'm a visual learner. You know what I'm saying? They don't do enough in school to differentiate learning. You know what I'm saying? So you have to do it yourself, advocate for yourself. They think it's all audible. Everybody don't learn audibly. And so
color is good. I can still like find stuff in my brain that I like wrote out in color and like still see all, because like I had to do Santa Baby last year and each verse is all different, but I remember I did like each cue in a different color and I can still like see.
Some people are tactile, they have to like figure out ways to get involved physically with their hands or something they can touch or feel to learn it. So I think people are different.
I have to do that for history.
Oh, yeah.
I think I made like some hand something to memorize something with my friend. I've been doing, when it comes to school and learning, I have to do crazy stuff for each class because it'd be hard. I remember I had to make songs for multiplication. Don't remember them now, but I remember it helped then. Stuff. And even when I did that like Hamlet assignment where I made the songs, even just doing that like helped me understand Hamlet like way better than I was.
And I think that's the African method, like singing to learn, or dancing to learn. Like, what I'm saying? They really get into a whole body education, because the more senses you can get involved in learning, the more you remember it.
Right.
And the more impactful it'll be. So
yeah, that's good. I was like, dang, Hamlet. And I don't like Shakespeare. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of that guy. But after, doing a little, like, the songs, I was like, okay, this story kind of good.
Because you invested in it.
Yeah. And I kind of made it more, like, relatable, or I just kind of made sense for me and, like, kind of how I would feel in that, like, those positions that he was in. I was like, now if this was how it was presented, then maybe I could understand all three.
So what would you tell somebody who may be just struggling with their own uniquenesses, specifically with the voice or style or taste? Like, what would you tell them who struggle to be authentically themselves?
I would say, 1, keep doing it, and 2, look for other people who are almost similar, not, I guess, similar to like what you do, I guess, to see how they navigate and how they like deal with it, or so, because like when I first started singing, not first, but like earlier years of like taking it serious, I had like a vibrato that I'd never had before. I don't know, like it randomly just came on one day. So I was like, what is this? So I just started listening to like Erykah Badu, who's like known for having like that heavy like vibrato, and I kind of was just like, okay, so I can do something with this type of thing. So I just like pull inspiration from other artists who are kind of like similar, like in the same.
Yeah, it's true. It's good. All right. Do you want to end with a melody?
What? No.
Huh?
A melody?
Yeah, it ain't got to be a full song, just a
I'd rather not.
Maybe give us one of those Christmas songs you did. A little snippet of it.
I don't know.
What did you do for concert?
The one we just did?
Jasmine.
Oh.
Oh, you did Some Over the Rainbow.
Right now?
Just give us a little bit of it.
Oh my God. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby.
Okay.
Why?